Hello and welcome back to the Final Fantasy VIII level grind. I'm still trying to come up with a good title. Anyway, I'm Circle Master. We're trying to get to level 100 without leaving Balamb Garden. And actually at this point what I would like is more Gratz cards, so I can get more Blizzaras, so I can get more hit points. Also, I'd like to know what the heck Vitality does for me. I'm assuming it helps keep me alive. It may be a foolish assumption on my part. But if I can get a stack of Gratz cards just to boost my stats, that'd be nice. Because they turn into magic stones, which I can turn into Blizzara, which I can... Junction. In the meantime, I can run in this small circle. Wow, what are the encounters? This is like a record for how long it takes to... There we go. I usually get encounters a lot faster than that. Becco says, F yeah, emo kid. I don't know whether he's a fan of emo kid or is just approving of the fact that he's been named emo kid. But thank you for joining me, Specco. Echo says a little of both. And knowing my luck, I'm going to get a single enemy encounter and it's not going to give me enough XP to gain a level. As much as gaining a level in under 5 minutes would be awesome. Yeah, there we go, one enemy. What'd I tell you? One enemy that hits for a lot. I'm guessing 120 XP for this. 186. I'm being trolled hard. Being 15 experience points short. That'll get me a level. And almost a quarter of the way to the next one. What is he learning right now? He's learning that. And he has, like, nothing else good. I imagine the same will be true here. Pretty much. I don't know if they get any new abilities from further leveling. But it seems like there's nothing else useful left to unlock. Tail says I need one more armor to have 100% items in ITT, and I can't find it, and it's driving me nuts. Welcome to the pain that is my Final Fantasy 400% completion run. Specco says I gotta say I think FF8 has my least favorite art style of the PlayStation era of Final Fantasies. I can't really speak to that. From what I've seen of Final Fantasy VIII, it is just as ugly as Final Fantasy VII. Richard Kemp says, oh hey, still at it, I see, ha ha ha. I am indeed. What happens if I go in here? Do I get different encounters? Well, I get the free spot. That's good. Just barely enough to level. Awesome. And Callie learned something that's probably useless. At least it has some kind of utility. Despite the fact that my GFs never take sufficient damage to warrant any kind of concern. So many loading screens. Yeah, let's raise damage by that, sure. Bo the Show says, I hated this game. I quit when they said they were all from the same orphanage. I was like, WTF. I don't know what orphanage you're talking about, or who even. Bo the Show also asked, what are you playing this on? I'm playing this on a PS2. Got it plugged into an HDMI converter, which is plugged into my capture card, which is plugged into my computer and TV, so that I can stream it. And my good old DualShock 2. Well, the show says they were at a lighthouse. I don't know what lighthouse. And they were talking about how they all knew each other as kids. I guess this is something that happens in a part of the game that I'll never play. Mateo says the thing for Eyes 8 is it is a week old at this point, so there are no guides for everything is yet. My best guess is that it's an S-rank reward for one of the defense missions. That should give you an idea of how easy it is to 100% these games if I can do it on a brand new game with no guides. Never mind then, you will never understand what the hell that is my Final Fantasy IV 100% completion run. Yeah, that's fine. Well, the show says, "Awesome, you haven't beat it." No, I first bought this, and it had some kind of technical issue with my old console, where the random battles would take like over a full minute to load. It was somehow messed up. So I just said screw it, and I never really played it at all. And now I'm doing this, and I have no intention of playing it after I get to level 100. Mateo says, I say you should do some of these games if you want 100% something without spending months on it. No, I'm kind of over 100% in games at this point. FF4 has killed that for me. Oh, the show says I saw your Final Fantasy VII level 99. I appreciate that. kind of been doing this as a sequel to that. Somewhat long removed. Let's run around here and see if I can get the 3 enemy encounter. Oh, that's better than 1. Brother Show says, yeah, I've never beat this game. I really don't like much about it. I think the draw system is garbage. Yeah, it seems to have a lot of mixed opinions on the overall quality, but I don't know anybody who likes the draw system. There are some people who have defended the Junction system as being interesting. But I've yet to see anyone defend the draw system. Come on, enemy. What is taking so long? Art says hello. Hello, Art. I wasn't even paying attention to what level I just gained, but I just gained a level, so I'm going to go save. My goal is to hit level 40. If I gain 8 levels again, like I did last time, I'll actually hit 41. But I'd be happy with 40. Lord says, what's up, man? The answer to which is, as ever, the pain level of my shoulder. That's always up. Well, the show asks, what's your favorite Squaresoft games? Probably Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, which is not creative, but it's the truth. Final Fantasy VI having a higher spot than Chrono Trigger in my mind. Like, objectively, Chrono Trigger is probably the better game, but I just like Final Fantasy VI more. Probably because of nostalgia, but I grew up playing it, and it was awesome, and I really enjoyed it. And it's still my favorite. on 3 enemies. Yeah. Love it. Well, the show says I got far in FF6, then my emulator crashed and lost the save files, never picked it back up. Well, you should give it another shot. There's all kinds of versions now. Well, the show says I haven't seen you get the T-Rex. I'm pretty sure the T-Rex is positional. Because I was going on the other door, the right-hand door, for a while. And at one point I had the T-Rex like 5 or 6 battles in a row. So I decided to come in this door, and now I never get the T-Rex. Low Tier Beer says, I just watched you do the FF7 level 100. I also just subbed. I appreciate that, thank you. Yeah, now you get to see Final Fantasy VIII from beginning to end. Instead of just the finale. Although, to be fair, I did live stream, I think the last 2 weeks or so of the Final Fantasy VII grind. And I'm pretty sure basically nobody watched it until the finale. So I don't feel bad about not saving anything other than the finale. Well, the show says after he gets 100, he's going to beat this whole game like a boss, which is a lie. I'm not going to do that. Also, I can't believe I just got 4 XP short of the level. Once I get to level 100, I'm going to put this game away. And probably never play it again. It's just a guess, not a promise, but, yeah, I've yet to see anything about this game to hold my interest. The Junction system makes no sense to me. The draw system seems really dumb. And the fact is, everything will be scaled to level 100, so I'll suck. So yeah, I'm not gonna play this. Like, the only game that I'm doing this kind of challenge for, that I intend to then play to completion, is Tales of Middle-earth. And the only reason I'm doing that to completion is because it's an old, obscure game that I really want to show off. You know, I basically want to do the max level in the starting town and then turn that into a full LP where I show off the whole game. Because, like, nobody else on YouTube is going to. Fleshy Pictures asked, what made you want to put yourself through this again? You must get major swamp ass at the end of each week sitting so still for so long. I only do this an hour a sitting. And this FFVIII I'm doing because basically my Patreon patrons voted for that to be the next level 99 thing. Or level 100 in this case. And honestly, it's going to take maybe 15 hours total. So it's actually super easy. Low Tier Beer asks, what's your plans in the future for gaming? Well, I'm doing this. I'm doing Tales of Middle-earth like I mentioned. I'm still doing Final Fantasy 400% because hunting for rare item drops in that game is the world's greatest nightmare. And beyond that, I'm not sure. Probably going to put it up for Patreon patrons to vote on again. But it'll probably be another level 99 thing. Either in Final Fantasy 6 or 4 or something. I don't know. We'll see. Well, the show says that's not long at all. Talking about FF8, I imagine. Why is it so easy? Because you're fixed at 1000 XP to gain every level. Enemies scale to your level. Therefore, it's always like, it's always 3 or 4 fights to gain a level, even in the starting area. There's no exponential increase in the amount of XP it takes to gain a level. It's always 1000 XP. It's kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics in that regard, where every level is 100 XP. And the random enemy scales your level. And your XP per action is determined by the level of the target. Depending on how you set it up, like you couldn't do Final Fantasy Tactics all in one single battle. But you could do Final Fantasy Tactics in a couple battles to set up your character so that you could then gain the rest of your levels in one battle. So Tactics you could do in one massive sitting. Please stop hitting me. Well, the show asks, so do the enemies get harder? Oh yeah, these enemies are doing like 4 times as much damage as they were at level 7. Their damage output is going up steadily. And my GFs are doing steadily more damage as they go up in level. My physical attacks have sucked at every level, so I never use them. But I imagine that they're doing progressively more damage as well. Fleshy Pictures says that's not so awful to endure. I thought you were doing this all at once. I could. Like if I took a day off, or if I did this on one of my days off, I could do, you know, a one-sitting grind of level 7 to 100. and not even lose sleep. Which side you fall under with 8, hate it or love it. It's personally my fave due to the plot being character driven. I've never played it before. Nothing about it has been terribly endearing yet. And as I have mentioned, I'm probably not going to play it once I finish this. Who learned a thing? You learned a thing. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. You can learn that. Well, the show says that seems like a massive design mistake, but I don't know what he's talking about. Whether he's talking about Final Fantasy VIII or Tactics. Hopefully this gains me a level. Oh yeah, there we go. $38. I've gained 5 levels in about 35 minutes. It will be about 35 minutes by the time I save. Pretty sure I'm gonna hit 40. Well, the show says I'm talking about FF8 and Tactics enemy scaling. Well, in FF8, I'm told that it's every enemy, including bosses, in every instance, and that's dumb. In Tactics, it's only random battles where the enemies scale to your level. In the story battles, the levels are fixed. So you can actually grind up to beat a troublesome story fight. And there's actually a reason you might decide to fight random encounters that scale up, which is as enemies level up, their equipment upgrades. And you can steal their equipment, or just collect it as loot if you kill them and wait for them to turn into boxes. So you can do it to get equipment upgrades to take into the story battles as well. So it makes sense in Tactics. Tactics is kind of the compromise between enemy scaling and being able to grind your way past problems. Seed rank aces, yeah, there's also no level runs, also Haymaster. I don't know if you mean in Tactics or FF8. Tactics, it's not possible to beat the game without leveling up. Just because you gain experience per action instead of per fight, and you have story fights you have to do. Like, you can do a low level run if you wanted. but you're inevitably going to gain some levels. Although actually, at one point, like years and years ago, he's seed rank A, says he's talking about FFVIII. Well, let me tell my story. Years and ever ago, I was a member. Well, I was on GameFAQs, and there was a small community based around Final Fantasy Tactics challenge runs, and we'd hijacked one of the boards. I think it was like this game challenge for the Atari 2600 or something. And I was messing around with Game Shark challenge runs because there were a number of unused command sets that had weird, interesting mixes of commands that you could only access with Game Shark, and all kinds of things. And I decided to try a run of Final Fantasy Tactics that was solo Ramza, so you had no other companions or whatever, no other characters, just Ramza. And I used the Game Shark code to basically reset his XP to 0 after every action. So we started at level 1 and basically couldn't level up because XP, you know, he'd do something, he'd gain XP, and then that XP would immediately be deleted. We revert back to 0 XP. And I wanted to see if I could beat the game at level 1. But with all the jobs and abilities and everything, you know, I could still grind those out. I could gain job levels and equip abilities. And there we go, grad score, that's nice. And it turned out to be quite doable. There were some challenging moments because his HP was terrible, and all of his stats were pretty garbage because he wasn't leveling up. He didn't have any stat growth. I don't remember how badly I ended up needing to abuse Calculator. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Like, maybe at the end I did, because there were some battles in the final sequence that have a lot of enemies in them. But yeah, I was able to beat all of Final Fantasy Tactics solo at level 1 thanks to the Game Shark code. And it just shows that level in that game is not nearly as important as your jobs and abilities. And knowing the game, obviously. So let's see, I'm level 39, I got 20 minutes to go. I bet I can get one more level in 20 minutes. I bet I can get one more level in 5 minutes. Seed Rank A says, that sounds fun. I had a Japanese Game Shark. I missed out on that. Well, I don't have a Game Shark. Well, I don't have a Game Shark for PS2 or PS1. But I ended up using an emulator that supported Game Shark codes. Or it had a plugin that supported Game Shark codes, rather. Just for these sorts of, you know, Game Shark runs. So I could do the legit runs just on the PlayStation. And just have them be legit. Meanwhile, Plushy Pictures and Bo the Show were discussing various dumb plot twists in Final Fantasy games. Oh yeah, Plushy Pictures mentioned that all Final Fantasies had dumb twists like that. I would argue that only the bad Final Fantasies had dumb twists like that. Which is to say, the Final Fantasies after 6 had the dumb twists like that. 1 through 6 did not delve nearly so deeply into the dumb twists. I mean, you could argue that Final Fantasy V, Lena being, or Ferris being Lena's sister is a dumb twist, but it's foreshadowed pretty heavily. It's not like it comes out of left field for no reason. Plushy Pictures says it's Monday night and I'm watching my man's leveling up to 100 on a 20-year-old game because I can't sleep. I'm up for any discussions, lol. Specco says, wow, spoilers. Which just proves that Specco didn't watch my Final Fantasy V 4-job Fiesta run that I did earlier this year. Thanks for not supporting the channel, Specco. Sniff. Yeah, please don't... Just because Plushy Pictures says he's up for any discussion, please do not discuss politics in the chat. Plushy Pictures says 1 through 5 it's fairly simple plots, though 6 was the first one with a really complex plot. I would argue that it wasn't. And when it went deeper after that, 15 was an absolute mess of a plot. I haven't played 15. Now that I'm on a PS4, maybe I should, but it costs money. And everything costs money. Yeah, 6 was actually not too terribly complicated a plot. You know, it's a lot, honestly, a lot of Star Wars. Just in Final Fantasy terms. And then the world ends, and then you go to the second half of the game. C Drink A asks, do you have any favorite GDQ runs you like to watch? Well, for the 100% completion Final Fantasy IV run, I have to give a shout out / no prize to the AGDQ, I think it was AGDQ 2015 speedrun of FF4 by No Cash. Where I learned about the MP underflow glitch and the Mysidia skip. Alright, I have Gratz cards. I need to use those. Next time I menu. Specco says it was a simple plot, but it was done well, I think. Yeah, I mean, that's... honestly, the best stories are simple stories that are well told. And that's what Final Fantasy VI is. It's a simple story, well told. What else? I enjoyed the Fallout New Vegas speedrun. That was at GDQ recently. Just because I love Fallout New Vegas and it's an awesome game. And I love it. Honestly, I have not had the opportunity to watch really any of the most recent SGDQ. SGDQ 2017, just because I've been put back on work duty, and at this point I'm just working full time, and it's like I get up in the morning, I stream, I go to work, I come home, I stream, I go to bed, and there's a little time for stuff in between the streams and work, maybe. Oh, and the, I forget if it was AGDQ 2017 or one of the 2016 GDQs, but the task bot with Brain Age, that was pretty awesome. Chronosaurus has no boost? No, I'm not using boost. This sucks. I have learned the hard way. Never use boost. I wasted 10 AP learning boost because somebody said I should get boost just to troll me. I forget if that was Specco or somebody else. Might have been Penn. Specco, were you the one who trolled me and said I should get boost? Specco says wasn't me. So it's probably Penn. Specco says I haven't watched an FFVIII stream until now. Well, hopefully you watch more than just this one. What was I doing? I was doing something. Oh right, I'm doing the thing with the cards. Ability, card mod, rats, ice magic, magic stones. Bam. More HP. Right, let's save. Let's remember to actually save. Specco says I blame Penn, definitely probably Penn. Seed rank A says ban him, lol, you literally gotta tap 10-12 times a second to get a good boost. Chronosaurus says, I remember that being my favorite part of the GS, made you feel like you're participating in the battle. I don't want to participate in the battle, I want them to win the battle for me. I want to minimize the strain on my shoulder as I level up to 100. But I got 5 minutes left, well 6 minutes left. Hopefully I can gain one more level, get to 42. Be all awesome. Close show asks what happened to your shoulder. Last year, I got injured at work and ended up, or what ended up being, a torn rotator cuff. I had surgery in March of this year to repair it, and the recovery process since then has not gone well. I'm still in a lot of pain, I still have limited mobility. Like, my arm can be lifted all the way up, but I cannot tolerate the pain of doing it myself. I cannot lift my own arm all the way up because it hurts too much. Oh, the show asks, what were you doing to injure the shoulder? I was working. Which plus side means workers' comp. Yay. So I haven't actually had to pay any medical bills, which is awesome. Downside, everything has to go through workers' comp. Which is why it took 8 months to get surgery after the incident. Well, the shots, were you lifting something? Did you fall? Like, what happened? I was lifting something. Lifting something, felt the pop in my shoulder. That was all she wrote. World of pain ever since. $25 XP. I'm being trolled. I should still be fine. I got what, a little under 3 minutes to the hour. This ought to do it. Oh yeah. Chance for first strike. Awesome. What's first strike? There we go, I'm level something. I think 42. Now I just need to go save. Cedar in cases, I had a hard time putting on shirts after my seizure. I hope you get better. I know how it is sometimes. Rehab for the win. Yeah, I've already done 12 weeks of physical therapy. Kind of plateaued there, so I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. I see the doctor next week, and that'll be the 6-month mark, basically. We'll see if I get further treatment or what. Either way, that will do it for tonight. Level 42 means I gained 9 levels in an hour. Definitely not even going to take 15 hours to do this. Like, maybe a dozen. If I can do this in a dozen hours, that'd be awesome. Tomorrow morning, back to Final Fantasy 400%. Chronosaurus says, I just found the stream. How long have you been at this? I do an hour per session. And this is hour number 5, obviously. 4:52 playtime. So, yeah, tomorrow morning I'll be back to Final Fantasy 400% completion, which is going to be at hour 64 or something like that. This hunting for rare items sucks. But until then, take care.